My sisters and I have been trying to work out how do you do justice to a life spanning 72 years, a life you all knew to some degree. It became clear over the last couple weeks that Dad had an impact in many people's lives. And while circumstances were, of course, different in all the relationships, everyone seems to have come to a similar conclusion about my father. The words we've heard most with people offering condolences have been about his enthusiasm, his generous nature, his great sense of humor, the eternal optimist, and his compassion.
Dad instilled an excitement about life and the possibility for a future of our dreams. He always reminded us that the best was yet to come and showed us how to persevere. Even in his darkest moments, he still believed that things would get better. The eternal optimist. Dad always wanted to be a part of our lives. He thought, what better way to teach his kids all the sports he liked to do, such as sailing, skiing, skating, for some reason, not golf.
But we think we know why. Some of the lessons we learned, or I should say maybe this lesson he learned, was not to rent to 12-year-olds an electric golf cart on a hilly course in Cape Breton without having first explained the many rules and etiquette to golf. Apparently, yelling, "Forward!" when no one had hit a ball was not okay. Parking the cart in the green seems not to be okay either.
Dad even became involved to the point where he was coaching our teams. And what a coach. This is where the creative, homemade magnetic boards and the infamous blue tape came into play. Isn't this where the NHL got their ideas from?
Dad had created these magnetic boards for the coaches so that they could explain to the players where they were supposed to be positioned on the ice. And he had this narrow blue duct tape that would hold the boards together, but at the same time it would represent the blue lines on the ice. Well, we have so much blue duct tape. It's still being used by Jack, by me, and by Jack's son, Mason, because that blue duct tape will fix anything.
Another creative idea of Dad's was the naming of our sailboat, the notorious and well-traveled Nanjabar. In Cape Breton, on the Bador Lakes, on one of our sailing adventures, Dad needed to fix the top of the mast, and he asked me to help. So he fastened me in tightly and hoisted me up on a wooden seat to the top of the mast. The job was to untangle and secure the shrouds at the height of 60 feet. Dad chose me, being the smallest and the lightest. It made me feel good that he had confidence that I could do the job, which I did.
Well, while we're on the topic of sailing, when I was dating Boo, Boo would get invited to our Saturday morning sailings. And it took Boo a few Saturdays to figure out that the Hugheses really only got going at 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Another time, when Dad was trying to sell one of the Nanjabars, he and I went out with a potential buyer, and I learned never to stick your finger too close to the retractable keel as Dad had done in order to hoist the keel, because gushing blood tends to deter potential buyers.
There were lots of lessons Dad taught, and I've tried to combine them or adventurous dad, the one who rolled with all the punches. One of the lessons was we learned that trying to judge the height of a bridge you were about to pass under from the base of the mast is not the best place. But he rolled with that punch. Trying to sneak one last flush into an overfilled holding tank can lead to rather explosive results.
I would have to say, being his helpful hand is not the time.